Divine Rising, Wild Hearts. It is I, Kadaro, your mindset and manifestation coach. And today we're going to go really deep. Please, I invite you to receive this transmission from the inner child and the adult, because the truth is, there is nothing you can do to save your mom from her past. The mother wound plays such a large role in manifesting or not being able to call in what it is you desire, because there's a part of many of us deep down inside where we have learned to sacrifice, suppress, and hide our emotions just to be strong enough for our mom. Because even for me, there were times in my life where I tried my best to be as strong as I could while my mother was breaking down because of the things that my father did. And I desire for you all to understand on a much deeper level that you don't need to take accountability and responsibility for how your mother treated you as a child. If your mother was abused, if your mother has traumatic experiences, you taking on those burdens and saying, I'm the one that has to break the pattern so my mother no longer has to suffer, is something that will hold you down in so many areas of your life. You get to release that burden. What you get to do is you do get to break patterns, but you get to break patterns for something so much bigger than your mother. You get to break patterns for yourself so that you don't pass it on to your children, so that you don't pass it on to the people you meet. And in doing so and focusing on the self and mastering your mind, you are then able to break the patterns, because your mother, whom you were in her womb, will feel that shift and change. And some of you may think, I've had these conversations with my mom, I've recommended coaching, I've recommended church, spirituality, and so on. Yes, the recommendations exist. You can tell your mother whatever you want, but that doesn't mean it's always going to land. The deepest connection you will ever have to your mom is from the womb space. And the womb space is creation and a form of destruction. That is what the divine feminine is. It destroys and removes anything that no longer serves you. And if you start to remove the things that don't serve you, if you start to remove these limiting beliefs, because if your mother had a financial lack mindset or a love lack mindset, then you may carry that same thing. And as you break through that financial lack mindset, that connection can allow your mom to be like, wow, my daughter's thriving, or my son is thriving, or my child is thriving. How? I wasn't able to do that. How? And they may not ask you, but they get to witness it. They get to see it in action versus just being told it. I desire for you to truly let this part land as well. That you are worthy, and you've been worthy since your moment of conscious creation, the moment you entered this world, you have been worthy. Because a huge part of the mother wound and not being able to manifest a specific person, or not being able to manifest a specific job or a community or whatever it is you're calling in, is worthiness. And for a lot of us, our worthiness was based on the fact that when we did good, quote, our mothers would give us more love. And it's like, you're doing great. I love you when you do these things that I love, because I believe these things are, quote, right. And on the other end, when you did, quotation, wrong, our mothers pulled love away. You're drawing on paper, that's stupid. Which translates to, my mother never let me do that, or my father never let me do that, so I'm going to tell you it's stupid. I'm going to tell you that dancing is stupid, that doing all these things that bring your inner child joy are stupid. There's so many things that I suppressed and hid that I loved doing as a child, which was dancing and drawing and creating, because my mother said these things wouldn't bring me money, which I'm sure her parents told her the same. And I am only breaking that pattern in the last few years, where I'm like, no, this is something that brings my soul and my spirit joy. So in healing that aspect of my mother wound, of me doing the things I love doing, I have actually witnessed my mother start to do the things my mother told me not to do. And one of them is just my spiritual practice. I have always practiced things in meditation and mindfulness and believed in spirits and energy and so many things. And my mother was very strict with religion, Baptist and so on. And it's nothing to say that a Baptist mother isn't a great mother. It's just that my mother suppressed the gifts that I naturally had, and then I had to go about them on my own. And here we are 20 years later, and I got to meet my mom again after years last year, and we talked about spirituality and people being possessed and people healing and Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and these different religions and spiritual practices and different beliefs. I healed my mother wound by just doing the things that resonated with me. I let go of the responsibility and the accountability. Accountability is accounting. It's our ability to account for the things that have happened in our life. I am not taking accountability for the things that have happened in my mother's life. I'm taking accountability for the things that I've actually done and not based on what someone else believes is right and wrong. I'm trusting my gut, which was the first thing that formed when I was born. And I'm trusting my heart, and I'm trusting my intuition, which is my divine connection. And responsibility is how I respond to it. I'm responding to it by taking aligned, committed action, as my mentor Preston would say. I have an intention for what I desire to bring into the world, what my legacy is, what I desire to witness in others. The impact that I have is someone is going to watch this video or listen to this podcast and be like, oh my goodness, that's me. He's speaking about me. He is talking about me. That's my legacy, that someone goes, aha, that landed. Even if it's only one person. If one person watches this and goes, aha, that's me. You know what? I'm going to take aligned, committed action. I'm going to just start doing the thing, even though my mother or father didn't like it. That is legacy. Legacy is the impact you leave. I am a leader, and leaders build leaders. I'm here to build leaders, not followers. I desire for you all to share and to lead and to guide others. And again, as you shift that mother wound, whether it's in a box or a circle or a sphere, or it's a string, a thread, as it shifts and becomes a coil or a more diverse, beautiful box, or even if you are outside of the box, because that box mindset I feel is conditioned by society, know that your legacy and your destiny and your future for you and your children and everyone you impact will be so fucking magical, because today could be the day that you chose, I'm going to take and go 1% more than I normally would. 1%. That's all I ever ask of myself is, Kadar, what can I do 1% more of today that will bring me closer to my goal? And my goal is healing and self-mastery and being of service. So 1% more is to make another video, Kadara. Make another video that you can turn into a podcast and then share it online. And I can make another one tomorrow, and I can connect with someone that comments, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I will be back tomorrow. And I'm wishing you all a blessed day. I know that this isn't a space to like blame my mom. I'm not going to blame or shame or guilt my mom, because I also know that my mom went through some stuff. Like, please know that our mothers went through some stuff. Just being a woman alone in society is a huge thing. And as a male, I can't say I fully can grasp it because I haven't had that experience, but I got to see it. I got to see what my mom went through. As a light-skinned African-American woman in the world, single mother. And I have empathy and sympathy and compassion for my mom. So I will not guilt or shame my mom. I love my mother. And that's something I wouldn't have been able to say like 10 years ago. I can say it now. I love my mother. So if there is one more thing I'm going to leave you with, it's if your ego and your stubbornness is preventing you from rebuilding that connection with your mother or father, whoever it may be, just think, if they died tomorrow, how would you feel? Because that's what I asked myself. If my mother died tomorrow or this week, how would I feel? And as I sat with that, I broke down crying because I was like, I'd feel like shit because I'm holding on to all this bullshit. These bullshit reasons of why my mom needs to apologize and I won't forgive her until. And it's like, no, I can let go of this shit and just learn from it. And I did. I let go and I learned from it. And our connection is like fucking strong now. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. I'm telling you, I know a lot of people right now that don't have that opportunity to physically connect with their parents. And I'm not saying you have to. And if you have the opportunity to connect with your mother and to let go of some bullshit, to just be the person that's like, you know what? My mother doesn't listen to the things that I'm saying, and I get it, and I've set the boundary, and I still desire a connection. So once a month, I'll just send her a text message and be like, I love you. That is 1%. Just once a month, be like, hey, mom, I just want you to know, even though we disagree on what we put into our bodies over the last couple of years, I still love you. Hey, mother, even though I know you want grandchildren badly and these things like that, I want to thank you for respecting my choices. I just want to tell you that I love you. Or just a text message, hey, mom, just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you right now and I love you. That's it. 1%. And let's get it. Let's go. Oh.